And now I'm cheesing my way back to you, Van.
And J-Dawg.
With a burning cheese inside. Time to talk pack.
If you're watching the video, you didn't hear the last part of the episode. We got J-Dawg here. I think he's going to be below me when we edit this. So say what up, J-Dawg.
What up?
Woof, 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 woof. Packers section, quickly, we mentioned earlier that some monster contracts got signed. Alvin Kamara signed for like 5 years, $75 million. Dalvin Cook, 5 years, $63 million, which means Aaron Jones is going to need to get paid about the same. And
do you think he gets paid? He gets paid the same.
Pretty close. Depending on his output this year, pretty close. But apparently he and his agent are actively working with the Packers. So that's a good sign.
This is his third year, right?
No, this will be his fifth year.
What am I talking about? I am fired from the podcast.
It was hard because he got suspended for like smoking dope for a little bit, and he was like, it was weird. He was in and out for a minute there.
Oh my God, I'm fired. J-Dawg, are you looking for a full-time podcast gig?
Wouldn't turn it down.
The benefits are few, but you have to work with Van.
Oh, I was gonna say you had to work with you.
I just got fired.
I just assume that I usually get fired, not you, but whatever.
I'll have to follow the Packers a little bit closer, I guess.
I suppose. Another heartwarming thing, on the back of the Packers helmets all season will be a number 87 decal to honor the late, great Willie Davis, who passed away this April. Pro Football Hall of Famer, Packers Hall of Famer, Packers Board of Directors, all that kind of stuff. Great pass rusher, all that stuff. So that's pretty neat.
I mean, it's the right thing to do. You want to keep the heritage with the game. The people who played the game are just as much as about the game as the guys who still are out there.
Yeah. And the only people they've done it before, they've done it for Reggie White, they've done it for Bart Starr, maybe Ray Nitschke, I forget, but they've done it for people as well. A little logo on the back of the helmet. So that's good. Very, very nice. But getting back to, I guess, we played a game this weekend or something. I mean, I think the Packers won like 43-34, maybe, over the Vikings. What are you doing?
I'm listening for the fanfare.
Oh, well, there wasn't any because it was actually really weird watching a game with no fans. They had like an itty bitty bit of like I heard someone say it was like 70 decibel crowd noise. But the weirdest part was like a big play, like long run, breaks it for a long run, interception, touchdown, and there's just nothing in the stands.
And it's just
silence. It's weird.
No, it wasn't silence. It was office party sound. That was the sound that they had playing for the crowd. It was just just office party, just like people like drinking juice, talking about how they're going to go to the movies over the weekend, what holiday trips they have coming up.
Did you fix that dishwasher yet, Ken?
The copier seems to be on the fritz. Like it's just like
toner.
It's like golf. It's like golf level noise.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Like etiquette golf claps.
It was weird because you just expect like certain roars from the crowd, and it wasn't there. It was weird.
That was specifically chosen by the NFL for every game. Like that was not chosen by.
I mean, 100% fair and reasonable because you can't. Otherwise, you'd have like a third party arbitrator to like jack up noise at certain times. It's not.
One quick note: only 2 games had live fans. The first being the Kansas City opener.
Bad fans. Boo.
And the Jacksonville fans.
I saw that.
So I thought that was telling. They're most places are saying they've already decided the first 2 home games. They're decided against it.
Yeah.
For most stadiums. So we'll see how that evolves over time. Like, would you guys go to a home game favorite? Like J-Dawg, if Pittsburgh was like, here's a ticket to a good seat at a stadium, would you be there?
See, I don't know. I think I'd have to definitely know more about kind of like the precautions they would be taking in and around the stadium. Because I feel like for me too, it's not even like actually being in the stadium and once you're at your seat, you're fine. It's, all the, like walking around stadiums, like using like the facilities and all that. Like people are going to be close to you, but I don't know. You see the similar stuff like you go to Walmart and you go food shop and people are like close to you either way. But I think at this point, like, I mean, once you have tens of thousands of people all together, like I would probably steer clear still.
Yeah, I think it was like 25% capacity I had heard, which
well, that was in Kansas City. It was like 22, I think, percent.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then, but Jacksonville was less. It was significantly less.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the cardboard cutouts behind the goalposts in Minnesota? That was funny.
That was good.
But I also noticed, speaking of like no preseason rust, a lot of the graphics at the bottom, the ticker and stats and names and down and distance were all fucking wrong. Just wrong. Wrong. But we mentioned we had a solid win. The game, it went wild. It went wild real fast, right? Started out 8-7 Packers,
up to that point
with 40 seconds left in the first half.
Up to that point, the game was going exactly the way I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be rusty offenses and the defense deciding the game.
Okay, I will say the Packers offense was not rusty until we got our red zone was terrible to start the first half.
That is an understatement. That was straight ass.
It was straight ass. You're right.
Ass.
It was straight up dookie butts. But what I saw that I really enjoyed was we saw exactly what Matt LaFleur wanted to do in the offense for the entire first half. We like the Vikings barely had the ball the entire time. We punted once. We punted one time. It was excellent. But yeah, it kept
absurd. That ball
stalling out in the red zone was bad. Don't like that. I don't know.
We had that it wasn't like 2/3 of the time. It was like 75% of the time we had the ball.
Yeah, it was good. And then I said it was 8-7, which also, by the way, Jair Alexander with that sack.
That's changed the whole
safety,
game.
Set the tone immediately.
He single-handedly changed the game.
Yes.
He gets a 2-point sack with that safety, and then that interception.
He is only the fifth player in the past 20 years to record a sack, interception, and safety in a single game. Fun fact.
Boom.
Offensive line was excellent. No holds, no false starts. We had guys getting down, getting hurt, guys subbing in, like rookie guard, slide over to tackle. Like left guard, slide to right tackle, please. Like do all this weird, like mumbo jumbo switching around shit. They did really well. I was cool with that.
I felt like overall the team felt more like a collaboration. Like last year, I felt like there was just some friction between the different phases and sometimes between Aaron and what I think Matt LaFleur wants it to be. I felt like you saw it just a little bit more aligned all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a product of having 2 years in the system now, right? Like this is how it goes. I was like a little not irritated, but I was like, man, our run game isn't doing a damn thing. But then you look at the stat line, and Aaron Jones had 66 yards, 4.1 yards a carry. That's good.
Yeah.
Tyler Ervin, excellent, by the way. 38 yards. Love that guy. And we did some end arounds and stuff, pretty sweet, And we ended up with 140 some yards of rushing. It was a lot. It was a good amount. So happy with all that offensively. Rodgers is fucking dropping dimes. Rodgers was vintage Rodgers. I was so solid, just spreading the ball out physically across the field and to different targets. Granted, Devontae Adams, his career best, 14 receptions in one game, ties Don Hudson for the Packers record, 14 receptions in one game, 150 some yards. Devontae Adams, his footwork was out of control, man. Do you see that that toe tap doop, in the end zone? Wild. His footwork was amazing. And Rodgers is taking more time to be balanced and throw the ball. Didn't see a whole lot of throwaways.
He had so much time all day long. That dude could have written a novel in the backfield.
I don't remember him missing a throw, straight up oh man, you overthrew him.
I think he was on the ground one time.
It wasn't. Yeah, he got pressured once, and that was a late push, by the way.
It was a late push,
very late. But I mean, a couple drops, big drops on easy catches for MVS, but then he follows it up with a stupid, hard contested 60-yard touchdown.
All right,
I don't know.
J-Dawg, I'm gonna give you the final word. We got to wrap this up. Since we have just fawned over everything that we just did, quick note. What is your note from the Packers game? What do you got to say?
So from what I saw in the highlights, I didn't see the full game, but it seemed like Rodgers was lighting it up. I was wondering if this is going to just be the year where he's just upset that they took Jordan Love so early, and he's just out there to prove his worth.
I mean, you remember what happened when everyone kept comparing him to Favre after he won the Super Bowl? Remember what he did the next year?
Yeah,
He
that could be
he
what you're in
torched
store
people.
for this year.
I'm so excited.
I think the other thing that was interesting to me was seeing Kirk Cousins. I think that what he finished with maybe 6 or 7 attempts throwing the ball. The Vikings
no,
are just,
it got back up there, but because the second half he had to. But
yeah.
through the first 3 quarters, he was 2 for 6 passing.
Yeah. So I think that's just it's interesting because I think the Vikings just obviously a run dominant team with Dalvin Cook, and they don't have Diggs anymore. But I think that you guys are going to probably I think it's going to go through the Packers this season in that division.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So. God, I hope so.
It'd be so silly to think otherwise. 13-3 NFC Championship team. Oh, they're going to suck this year. Ding dongs.
And also Devontae Adams is, incredible. But I think a lot of people were asking if Rodgers needed more help otherwise. But I don't know. Allen Lazard can show some stuff, and
you think about it. Rodgers threw for 360, and 150 of that was Devontae. So another 200 yards went to other people. So
right.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So I think that's a good sign. Because I think a lot of people were, myself included, when I saw them take Jordan Love so early, I was thinking if they got another receiver early on or some other weapon, it would be helpful. But
I saw a pretty good meme last night, and it was Packers fans after watching Aaron Rodgers light it up Monday morning, and it was cracking knuckles, stretching out, finger on the caps lock button, ready to just and I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm ready to go, man. Fuck all you guys thought we were gonna suck.
Anyway, that's what we got new for the Packers this week. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Something.